Well, that was a fun spooky month. I was able to get 3 whole videos out and make sure both Halloween specials got out on time. Too bad hardly anyone watched the second one, but either way, there's only one video left to do before I'm finally done with horror for a while. I suppose I better get started. Or maybe not, I guess I better take this. Hello?
Good day there, Tony.
Oh hey, long time no see. What's the occasion?
Oh, nothing special. Just that the FNAF movie just came out.
I know. I was just about to review it.
Hence why I called. Think I can join in for this?
I don't see why not. It's a bit last minute, but I suppose I could squeeze you in.
Alright, I'll be waiting for you.
Chaos Control! Okay, accommodations are ready, and so is the means of transport. Now it's just a matter of waiting.
I'm getting a serious case of deja vu from this. But who cares? As long as we get to have fun with the movie, it's all good. Huh, this must be alright. I just hope nothing bad happens along the way.
Oh good, you made it through safely. This was my first time opening portals between places.
Could've fooled me. The trip was really smooth. Hold up, this isn't the room I've seen in your videos. Why are you in the FNAF 1 office?
Well, technically we're in both. I just used the Chaos Emerald to warp the room into the office to not only fit the video, but also accommodate for your avatar.
Oh, cool. So shall we get started?
Indeed we shall. After almost 10 years of Five Nights at Freddy's being a thing and 8 years of production hell, we've finally been graced with the FNAF movie. There were of course imitators that came before, none of which were good in the slightest, but this time, the real FNAF movie has arrived. There's just one question to ask. Was it truly worth the wait? Or did all that time in the oven cause it to burn? Let's find out. Care to give us a brief plot synopsis, Destroyer?
Well, the film follows Mike, who's played by Josh Heckerson, who also played in The Hunger Games. Anybody remember that series? A troubled young man caring for his 10-year-old sister Abby, played by Pepper Rubio. The former haunted by the unresolved disappearance of his younger brother more than a decade ago. Yeah, we'll get back to that plotline shortly. In order to maintain custody of Abby, Mike begrudgingly picked up a job offered as a security guard at the old Ben Freddy Fazbear Pizzeria, but soon discovers that the building holds some terrible secrets. That's where I'll leave it to avoid any major spoilers for now. Now it's time to get into the nitty-gritty of the movie.
First things first, the cast does a really great job. Josh Hutcherson delivers a solid performance as Mike Schmidt. What was once a player's stand-in retrofitted to be some kind of character is now an actual character with personality. Granted, he's still an everyman at heart, but he has qualities and flaws we can relate to. Piper Rubio does a good job too as Mike's sister Abby. For a child actress, she sounds quite genuine in her role. Elizabeth Lail as Vanessa is alright, but her inclusion did feel more like fan service than anything. The other actors in the movie did a great job too, particularly the kid who plays Cassidy. At least I assume he's meant to be Cassidy, he's the one Golden Freddy, and has blonde hair, so that checks out.
I know FNAF when it comes to the FNAF lore, but when it comes to source material, I can tell a lot of care went into the look and feel of the franchise. With the exception of Vanessa, I can actually understand everyone's motivation and logically put everything together. With Scott being in charge of the movie, this isn't too surprising, but it's nice to see it's not butchered by some dumb executive meddling. Mostly.
The best part of this movie by far would have to be just how much love there is for the fans. This was clearly a movie that was made by fans for fans, and that's not a bad thing at all. The designs of the animatronics are almost one-to-one with the games, give or take Bonnie's fur, but then again that's nothing new, and they all look incredible in live action. The only one that looks a little different is Golden Freddy, who appears to be a mix between his FNAF 1 Yellow Bear design and his FNAF 2 Broken design. But even then, he still looks awesome, not to mention the cameos from YouTubers heavily tied to FNAF. They got everyone they could possibly get, and it was a joy to see them be a part of this gigantic love letter to the FNAF fan base. And those credits. I was a total fanboy during the credits. I'm not gonna say why, but if you're a FNAF fan, you will have a freak out.
As someone who's mainly known the first 3 games, it's kinda hard not to like it on that basis alone. I haven't played Security Breach, but it's interesting that game gets referenced to say the least.
Sadly, this movie is not exempt from problems. To start with, for a horror movie, there's very little here in terms of scares. Like, we do get several decent kills, but the movie doesn't really try hard enough to stay scary throughout. That's in large part due to the animatronics not doing a whole lot in the movie. Like, Freddy gets one really nasty kill, which is fine. Bonnie gets one off-screen kill, which is less fine. Chica does almost nothing, which is not fine at all. And Foxy runs down the same hallway like 3 separate times, and has a small part in the last act, which is both cool and odd. Weirdly, the most vicious animatronic is the cupcake, which is really baffling. Like, its kill in the trailers was really vicious and cool, but out of all the much more popular animatronics, why would you make the cupcake do most of the murder?
Yeah, this is where the kids' gloves come off, because not only does this movie drag quite a bit in the middle, it nearly put me to sleep, and that's quite a feat when you consider, again, this is a horror movie. While many can praise the look, the fact that we spent about 80% of the time without the animatronics around doing the one thing they're known for, which is scaring and killing the night guards. Now, obviously, just sitting in the office for nearly 2 hours wouldn't cut it, but considering the plot is so bare bones, yet packed with a subplot that does practically nothing in the long haul, it does say quite a bit when the best parts are the beginning and near the end of the movie when, spoiler alert, Springtrap comes into play. And while it doesn't make sense for the FNAF 1's perspective, I'll be damned if I didn't admit it was the best part of the movie. Shame it only lasts about 4 minutes out of a 2-hour movie. And then there's Vanessa, which... look, I don't hate her per se, but her inclusion, as Tony said, makes no sense in the context of this movie, especially in the whole father shtick, which anyone who's played Security Breach can be like immensely confused.
But the biggest issue I have with the movie as a whole is that it doesn't fully feel like a FNAF movie. Let me explain. Well, yes, we have the characters, animatronics, and lore beats from the first 3 games present here. The game part of this video game movie is not present at all. We all know how the first game worked. Check the cameras to know the animatronics' positions, check the lights by the doors to see if they're there, and close the doors when absolutely necessary. Simple stuff that could have been easily added into the movie, yet despite having a proper office, none of that's in the movie. The cameras get used a total of twice and never again. The doors are boring normal doors instead of the steel electrical doors. Phone guy's MIA, which for shame, Scott, you are literally directing this. And you know the Torador March? The song that Freddy plays when he's about to kill you and the song that they spanned in the first real trailer? Yeah, that's not in the movie. Freddy doesn't play it, nor does it appear anywhere in the soundtrack. They really went the Sonic movie route of including video game music in the trailers, but not the actual movie. I know the original game didn't have much story, but when previous video game movies have managed to balance both the story and game parts of the video games they're adapting, the FNAF movie has no excuse.
I know I said we get into the whole missing kid bit some time ago, but like, the problem is we get very little in terms of story. Now, to be absolutely fair, this was also the case in the game, but this is more excusable since it's meant to be big and kept you thinking. In the movie, however, you get a whole subplot that just eats time in an otherwise interesting plot, and I'm being nice calling it a subplot. Now, this may be just a me thing, but I genuinely hate PG-13 horror movies because it guts any kind of horror could have. Hell, this barely feels PG considering how the deaths are either off-screen or if they are on-screen, don't warrant a scare. Look, when Coraline has a more creepy feel from 2009, you know you done messed up, and that movie is rated PG.
When I first watched the FNAF movie, I had some conflicting opinions. I thought I liked it overall, but had some pretty big issues with it, and I had to watch it again in order to get my thoughts in order. After that, I can safely say that this movie is good, but it's got some issues that are very noticeable. Apparently this movie has created another Mario movie situation between critics and fans, only this one is way worse, and to be honest, the problems are coming from both sides. On the one hand, you have a lot of critics offering some of the dumbest criticisms I've ever seen for a product, and on the other hand, the fans have been Wolverine levels of aggressive when defending this movie. It's just complete pandemonium that no one is winning, and it's really silly. Obviously, the people who are acting stupid should be called out and corrected, but the more reasonable people shouldn't be ridiculed for not liking the movie. If they didn't enjoy it, and for good reason, let them have their opinion. It's really that simple. With that said, in comparison to all the other video game movies I've seen, this is only a little worse than the first Sonic movie for me because of my Sonic bias. And as a movie on its own, I give it a solid 7 out of 10. A great movie for fans, and a good movie for casuals. What say you, Destroyer?
As someone who's seen both sides and tests the critics being, well, critics, yeah, I give this with a low 7. It's not terrible, but it misses a lot of the main key ingredients. At least not the original Mario Bros. Movie level of bad, so that's something. But regardless, if you're a fan of the series, I think you'll enjoy it. If not, it's fine as a standalone thing, but I recommend playing the first game to get the full experience. But that's just me.
Well, that was fun. Glad we were able to talk about this together.
Same here. I just hope those Wolverine level fans don't get too upset because we dared criticize the movie.
I haven't had too many fans get up in arms about something FNAF related, at least not in one of my videos, so I'm not too worried. I am worried that they're gonna try to make the movie canon in some way.
I don't even know how to do that. Like, I'm no FNAF expert, but even I know there are way too many inconsistencies between it and the games for it to be considered canon.
True, but this is the FNAF fandom. Reason doesn't exist here, or at least it's in rare spades. But I guess you learn to live with it after a while. In any case, I think it's about time I got you your ride home. Just let me pull out the gem and chaos control. There you go. Hope you don't run into any troubles.
Honestly, same. I hope we meet again in the future.
Hey, it happened twice this year. Anything's possible.
You're not wrong. Anyways, I gotta go. Destroyer, out!
Well, now that he's gone, I guess I should end this video here. By the time this video is published, I'll have made a poll regarding the subject in the next video, and the results of said poll will decide said video. Hope you guys look forward to it, whatever that may be. See you next time, everybody!